All right, everybody. Let's see here. Can we get this one hide video on that thing? Stop video. There we go. Nice. All right. Welcome to everybody. Steffi, good to see you. Deborah, good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I can't hear you, but I take that as a wish
Yeah,
of a
Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
Year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you guys feeling? Yeah. You're unmuted, but I still don't hear any audio. So yeah, something's not quite there. Steffi. Nice. I am feeling excited and pumped. I got myself a new standing desk so I can be standing up and be with you guys and not have to sit down and be all scrunched over. So that's kind of fun. Got myself one of those under desk treadmills as well, but I'm not going to be walking while I'm while I'm talking with you guys. That could be a little much.
You have to let me
So
know if you'd like it and what brand you got, because I was considering doing something like that.
for
So you have to
which
let
one,
me
the desk or
know.
the treadmill?
The treadmill. I have a stand-up desk already. I'm sitting
Yeah,
right now, obviously, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I bought the cheapest one I could find on Amazon just so I could test it out
It
and see
should
if it's
try it
something that
out.
I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always
Um,
ask people, okay, what brand did you get and what did you like? So
yeah.
yeah.
But my assistant Danielle found some other brands for me that were better quality. This is not good. I'm probably gonna return it and just be like, okay, great, I like it. I want one.
Gotcha.
And then get a good one. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know once I know.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. And I've been selling shit, like all kinds of stuff that I had in my cabinets like here over Christmas break. I don't know, there's something about the end of the year to reset on, you know, reset and focus on what's ahead, let go of the past, look into the future. It's funny how most people start out their year hungover. It's a funny habit, you know. It's like rather than go to bed early and get up and be ready to rock as January 1st hits. Welcome to Lucinda. Happy New Year to you. How are you feeling?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, glad to be here. Greetings, folks.
That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. So am I. All right. So today, what I want to do is I want to get into a 6 week plan for the first 6 weeks of the year with you guys. Before we do that, there's a couple of things that I want to share with you. One is just on a personal note. I've been looking into. Has any of you guys heard about the electric universe theory? Does that ring a bell to anyone?
No,
No.
you might
So
unless you elaborate and I have a different vernacular for it, maybe.
yeah, I mean, they call it literally the electric universe theory. Like they have conferences
Okay.
called the EU conferences and whatnot. I heard about it from Joe Dispenza, and then I started pulling on that thread, and it's really fascinating. But the thing I wanted to share about it is just how what they're talking about is how mainstream science pulls all of these weird hacks and mathematical like weirdnesses in order to try to explain things such as dark matter. Like dark matter is this thing that we can't see or perceive, but it makes all the math work out. And so we just postulate that this thing exists. There's also what was he was talking about something, is it the Higgs boson that like explains
Mm.
the weight of matter and like, but it doesn't make any sense. We can't see it. And these things that are chemical processes that are inside the sun, we can't ever see them or verify them, but we postulate that that's so. And like all of this, all of these elaborate constructions that they have to make up in order to make the math work, in order to kind of make the science work. It reminds me of Rupert Sheldrake talks a lot about this as well, whom I'm a big fan of. And it just made me realize how much of what we think we know is like bogus or like at least highly implausible, or people come out there and they're confidently talking about the Big Bang theory and how old the universe is and how all this stuff works, and like really they don't freaking know. They're just Like it's their best explanation so far, but it's an explanation that doesn't explain a whole lot of what we can actually observe. And I think that's a pattern that exists everywhere in life. You know, what that the mainstream explanations, it reminds me of, you know, when Copernicus, way back when, you guys remember those days of Copernicus where he was like, you know, what if all the objects that we see in the sky don't actually revolve around the Earth, but maybe they revolve around other objects, like the planets? Maybe they go around the sun and we go around the sun as well. And then there are other objects that are other suns and they have their own orbits and stuff. What about that? And then all of a sudden, all of these, what they were trying before were all these complicated equations to make everything work out. And when they tried this method, everything became very simple. It's like, oh, we don't need to explain how this thing moves in a curve upon a curve on top of a curve and like all that mumbo jumbo, right? So it's just this, keep in mind that most of what we've been taught to believe is BS. And so keep an open mind about the nature of reality, like even some of the most basic things we don't know. And so that leads me to the other piece that I've been going deep on over the break here is on any one of you guys read, you know, or gone to events or anything with Abraham, Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks, that kind of stuff? Does that?
I've read a lot of their work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I got introduced to them like 15 years ago and did some of it, but then over this break here, I've gone deeper, and the whole notion of, you know, really getting clear, like appreciating your desire, getting clear on what it is that you desire, like write it down, collect it, really, and really get clear on what it is you desire based on what we experience that we don't like, and then focus on that. Focus on all the evidence that you have in your reality that is already there, or just focus on the thought of what you want and how that makes you feel. It reminds me of the experience that I had in like last month. We were in Florida, my wife and I had a session with my coach, and I was talking about how, like, okay, like growth of Simplero, and I was telling this old story of how, like, well, our growth has kind of been flat, like revenue has been flat for a long time, which is actually not true. It's grown. It's just, it hasn't grown at the level that I wanted it to, but it has grown. And then she was like, what if we rewrote that flat revenue to steady? It's been steady. Revenue's been steady. It's been a blessing that while you've been reorganizing everything on the inside, like for me personally, inside of me, but also inside in the team and how we operate, my leadership and all those things, like completely reorganized. It's a completely new company. Meanwhile, without actually focusing on growth, the revenue has stayed steady. And it's like rewriting the story from what's wrong, focusing on something that's broken and talking about it in a negative way to, you know, in an appreciative way. You know, so appreciating everything that already is working in your life, everything that already is the way that you want it, or any speck of evidence that is there. And it's Benjamin Hardy wrote this book about the gap versus the gain. Like, are you focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, which usually makes you feel kind of shitty? Or are you focusing on the gain of where you were to what you've gained to where you are today? And that makes you feel better. And basically, the more that we feel better about where we are and what we have, the more we can create what we want more of. And definitely my upbringing has been like, no, you got to keep focusing on how it's not working so you can fix it. And like have all that intent focus, like, no, like, don't make me go feel good because then I won't fix this thing, right? Well, actually, maybe feeling good is kind of a pretty good idea. Yeah. So with that, let me get the other, I've been busy over this break. The other big thing that I've been doing is really deep diving on what does it look like if I were starting a coaching business in 2025, knowing what I know today, knowing where the market's at today, what would that look like? And I want to give you guys the summary of that, the simple version of that. The version of that, but it's really simplified my thinking quite a bit. So I wanted to share that with you. If I can't figure out how to do that, iPhone, iPad via cable. Let's see if that works. Allow. Well, what are we sharing now? I don't think we're sharing the right thing. It's sharing my
a short screen.
Yeah, it's a dark screen.
Black screen.
I don't see anything. Yeah.
Let's try.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
No.
I can hear you. Yeah. All right. Are you guys seeing an iPad, a white screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And a scribble.
Yes.
Nice. How about that? That's incredible technology. I love technology. All right. So, as you know, I think of our business in terms of attract. Right? We got to attract people into our universe, and then enrolling them into our programs, and then transform. That hasn't changed. Nothing material has changed here, actually. Maybe a few things, but more distilling things down. So attract, enroll, transform. Those are still the big pieces. Now, and the flow, right? We attract leads, we enroll them into programs, we deliver the transformation in their lives. So the first thing we want to do is we want to upgrade our dream client. So we want to be super clear on who we are wanting to attract, and also upgrade that avatar, because the people upgrading, I mean, go after a higher level avatar. People who don't have money, who are really struggling, are hard to work with. They're hard to enroll. They're hard to attract. They're not going to have the money for us to build a sustainable business. People who are just operating on a higher level financially and otherwise are going to be easier to work with. They have the money to pay. They ask fewer questions, fewer refunds, fewer hassles. So make the core of your business an avatar, a dream client that is at a higher level, so that it's easier for you to make money and work with your clients and attract the clients and make the money that you need to make in order for you to have the impact that you want to have with a limited time investment. And then you can use all that extra time to help poor people, if that's what you want to do, or more suffering people or struggling people, or you can do that with your content, et cetera, et cetera. So I see this as a major problem that a lot of people do, is they want to help so bad that they are focused too much on people who are too hard to help. So that's number one, upgrade your dream client. Number two is master organic social. Master organic social. And so what I mean by that is figuring out how to post content to social media that will resonate with people, that they want, figuring out the game of capturing people's attention and keeping people's attention. And organic social is the way that we do that. If we can make organic social work, we can make paid ads work, because then we just put money behind, we make an edit of the thing that already worked organically. And now we put an edit, now we put money behind it. That's easy. But the hard part is figuring out how do you get people's attention and keep it. And in this world, nothing matters outside of social content, basically. There are other ways, of course, and you can just and Sophia has got a lot of luck just running paid ads, et cetera. But that avenue is just getting harder and harder and harder. So the more that we can just acknowledge that the game today is organic social and get into that game and decide to master it, the sooner we're going to start to see results. So you're going to see me really tripling down on organic social this year. I've been doing a lot more on YouTube, and a lot is going to happen on YouTube for the long form. And then we edit that into short form. But in terms of getting people's attention, organic social is the way. And all the algorithms have shifted so that now it's not about followers anymore. It's really about the content. Meaning TikTok changed the game so that it's the For You page on TikTok where it's like interest graph. So when you engage with content, you get more content like the stuff that you engaged with. And all the platforms are doing the same. All the platforms are going there where it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Like really, you can have no followers or 7 followers. You could post something and it goes viral. Like that can happen to all of you tomorrow. Or today. So it's just a game of get in the game and keep posting, keep sharing, learn the game, learn the rules of the game. But the first thing is to be in the game. And really, I think in a world of AI and bot content and all of that, what stands out is you. The more you can be you, just be as real you as you possibly know how to be. And whatever lights you up, whatever energizes you to talk about, and the way it energizes you to talk about it, that's what's going to work. Yeah. So that's organic social. Then there's this idea of Brandwidth, and this is really, here we go. Brandwidth. So this comes from Taki Moore. The idea is that bingers are buyers. People who consume a lot of your content typically end up buying from you. So we capture people with a short form, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. That's where we get people's attention. And then we get their contact via some sort of a lead magnet, hand raiser, some way where we get their contact info, or we get to pixel them because we get to retarget them because they watched our content. But then the idea of Brandwidth is now we have longer form content. So part of what I'm doing is I'm recording these like 20, 30, 40-minute videos for YouTube that are going to be part of an onboarding or like a let's call it nurture sequence, Brandwidth sequence for new people to Simplero as well as to my coaching. So that way, once they watch something, we can then either retarget them with ads on the platform, or we get their email and now we can send out email content that goes deeper. And so the idea in Brandwidth is once people spend like 47 minutes with you, with your content, they're typically a buyer. Like that's the average that some dude made some stats on, but 47 minutes. Once they spend 47 minutes with your content, they're ready to buy on average. So how do we speed that up? How do we make sure that they spend 47 minutes? We can send them links to podcasts. We can send them links to YouTube videos. We can send them to that content and we can be specific about what content we send, like something that tells the origin story or something that talks about the typical objections that people have, like not like that addresses the typical objections that you hear people have, right? With storytelling, et cetera. So we craft a sequence there for people. Then we want to have and you've heard me talk about this before, we want to nurture non-buyers or not now buyers, really. Not now buyers. So on average, half the new leads that you get are never going to buy from you. Of the other half, 15% are going to be buying within the first 90 days. They're pretty much ready now. The remaining 85% are going to buy within 2 years. So this is really about nurturing the people who are not who will buy from you, but not now, and making sure that you're in front of them the whole time by sending out a regular newsletter. And then final piece on attract here is to get on stages. So podcasts or summits or actual physical stages or conferences or whatever you can do. That's the game in when it comes to attract. And really, it's just a matter of like building these pretty much in sequence. And then like you just build, and things are just going to stack and compound and get better and better. When it comes to Enroll, what I've seen that works the best and that I'm doubling down on is sell by chat. So not sales calls. Sales calls are great if you have the volume for it, if you have the time for it, but then you have no shows and like calendar conflicts, and that doesn't work, and and the leads kind of grow cold. I love sell by chat because it's asynchronous, and you can just like, you don't need to actually get on a call with people. You can chat your way to sales. Are there going to be people who are not going to buy from you on a chat, who would only buy on a call? For sure. But it's outweighed by the fact that you can so much more easily have more conversations going. And so to me, that's a winner. It doesn't mean that it's the only thing that works. It's just what I'm going to be doing for me. The other challenge for me specifically is as an example, right, is like to do sell by chat or to do a sales call. I would want to do, I kind of want to do it. I should do it myself first, but I don't have the schedule for that. I just like, it doesn't work with my calendar to do the sales calls myself. Right. And then I can train someone, but then in order to hire a salesperson, and I've had salespeople in the past, but in order to have a full-time salesperson, you have to have a really strong lead flow, which I don't have right now. And so it's kind of like, well, got to get the lead flow, then I got to hire a salesperson, but then like, and then you can maybe get someone part-time, but then you have the problem with the calendar that like, it's too hard to find slots in their calendar and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, no, sell by chat, so much easier. I can easily train someone to do it on my behalf. It works perfectly. And the second piece to this is the offer doc. So this is something that we're going to do together, that I've been hearing about from multiple sources. Lately, Taki's talked about it. There's a guy named Ross O'Loughlin that I've been studying, and I'm meeting with him next week, who's had a lot of success with that. It's basically just instead of a sales page, instead of a sales call, you write the offer on a simple Google Doc. It's like, here's the promise, here's the product, the logistics of it, here's the proposition, here's what it's going to cost, and the payment plans and the guarantees and all that stuff. And if you're in, just reply back with the words, like, just text me back, I'm in. Like, don't send me money now, just text me back, I'm in. And then you'll send the payment link after they've said they're in. It's a super low-key, easy, simple way to do it. It feels much more informal than sending them to a fancy sales page that's all designed. It's way easier than getting them on a call. It works crazy well for people selling $5,000, $10,000. He sells $18,000 offers using this. I'm pretty sure people are doing $30,000 that I've heard of, even $60,000. Like, sell by chat with an offer doc can sell freaking anything, at any price point. And it's so simple and it's easy to do. It's asynchronous. You don't need a team for it. And it's so easy to train some VA in the Philippines or something to do the initial stages of the sell by chat once you've dialed it in. And then it's just a matter of volume. Like, do you have enough interested leads coming in? And we're going to do that with organic social, I'm going to say here, plus amplification, right? So once you have a post that really works, then you re-edit it, you put money behind it, and that becomes your ad, and that becomes a lead flow into the sell by chat and the offer doc. Again, this is what I'm seeing out there is working really, really well right now. When it comes to Transform group, MRR, Evergreen, is the format. I've been talking about this for quite a while. Group program that is monthly recurring revenue, that is like an ongoing recurring forever. And that is Evergreen, as in people can join anytime. That is a winner. It'll continue to be a winner. It's just very easy, very predictable, very simple. A lot of people make the mistakes that they want to do like this 12-week cohort or, some kind of group. The problem with that is like, you have to start once and you can't let people in after. And then once they're done, it's like, where they go, you have to sell again over and over. It's much easier to have it just be open-ended. Evergreen, people can join anytime, and they pay by the month and they stay for as long as they want. You can have a year commitment up front, and then they can go month to month after that, for example, or however you want to structure that. Or it's an annual, like I've done several coaching programs that's an annual commitment, but you pay monthly. But then every year it's like you renew for another year. You don't go month to month after that. Still, you want to be in, and you're in for a year. And there's an honor code there where you don't, if you committed for a year, you committed for a year. Like you pay. There's no like, oh, but I'm just going to stop paying halfway through. No, yeah, you don't do that. Like that's been my experience. And the final piece here is the framework. So having a clear framework that you operate based on, that you're like, this is my model. The framework is going to help everything. The framework is going to help with attract, because now you create content that's aligned with that framework. It's going to help with enroll, because you explain to people that are interested, like, this is what we do. Phase 1, we do this. Phase 2, we do this. Phase 3, we do that. Or these are the things that we look at, the dimensions, whatever. And it helps with the actual delivery, because now you're structuring the content according to that model. So these are the pieces. You don't need stages. You don't need to put the Brandwidth into place. Like, you technically can get by on paid ads only. But the problem with it gets more and more expensive, and it's only going to keep getting more expensive. But once you master organic, that makes everything work better, because now people, like, the organic is going to make everything work better, because now they come in, they've already consumed your content, they already like you, and so they're basically already done the Brandwidth and spend the time with you. And now sell by chat and the offer is going to be so much easier, and they're already prepped. They know what they're getting into, so they're going to be better clients as well. So that really, really helps with everything. And it's not the easiest game in the world, and it's not getting easier, but is also not going away anytime soon. It just is what it is. And every day there are people who literally have posted for almost no time that end up going viral. And so it's absolutely doable. It's absolutely possible. And there are going to be people for anyone, for all of you guys that are your people. And that's the whole game, is finding your people. And the way that you do that is by speaking from the heart, speaking directly from your muse, the inspiration that comes into your head. And then that unlocks the right people for you. So that, my friends, is the framework for the coaching business of 2025. Let me hear your questions or your thoughts or your reactions. What do you take away from that? Really, from any of what I shared. All right.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Yes,
were you going, Lucinda? Were you going to go, Lucinda? Go ahead. You're muted, so
the gears are just kind of going.
Okay.
You go.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. Yeah, so I love everything that you had to say around the framework, because I'm just finishing corporate and launching all at the same time. I have a lot of constriction around it, like, oh shit, I have so much to do. And then I'm not exactly sure I know what I'm doing. Like, when it gets into the actual coaching part, that's where I have the most confidence, right? I'm probably more of like a coach teacher archetype than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told you before, all the different things leading up to it is where I really want to master. And I know that I'm adaptable to it, but I still have a lot of confusion there. To be able to simplify it, break it down, and say, okay, go do these tasks today. That's probably where I'm struggling the most, because I have a tendency to go into indecision and confusion. And I think I've told you that before. When we get into some of these tasks and breaking them down, well, maybe I should do it this way. Maybe I should choose this social. Maybe I should choose that. And
Yeah.
I'll allow myself to loop there. And what it does is it actually creates procrastination at the end of
Yeah.
the day. The confusion does. And though that's probably my biggest barrier to getting past, because the framework itself, I'm so appreciative of, even like doing an evergreen group, it hadn't occurred to me. I only followed people that do these 3 months or 12-month or 6-month containers where you opt in, and if you don't, you lose it, which does, help to somebody who has a lot of FOMO. But outside of that, the rest of the people, you don't really sign up as much. So even those little things I appreciate. And I didn't know what your thoughts were around finding the best framework to break this down to be easy. I still have things to finish up on my site, some different things like that. My last day in corporate is March 1st. So I really want to launch strong in March. So I have a 60-day ramp up here to do this. And I'm like, that's my thing, is breaking this down into something that's digestible for me. Like, go do this today, Deb, So, yeah.
So I think what I would say for you to where to start would be, well, all right. So let's look at it here. So are you clear on your avatar?
I am. I know where I'm starting. I'm not the reason why I have some hesitancy there is because I know where I plan to start, because that's the industry I've been in, except I'm not exactly, I almost feel called to go a little bit different to the avatar that I'm after, as opposed to just go with what and let it evolve there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it easy. So
okay.
I don't know if that explained it. And I also want to know how you did this technology, because I need something like this.
Yes. It's called an iPad.
Oh, is it just an iPad? Is that it?
It's just an iPad.
You're projecting it to your computer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Zoom can let you share. Okay. Into Zoom.
I see. Those are the little things with technology that
totally.
I'm adaptable once I learn it, but it's a matter of I'm not it is what it is. So okay.
The iPad is awesome. Yeah. And I sign up for Ingrid Lil, who is one of she's a Simplero member. She's does these illustrations. I sign up for her stuff. I'm learning to draw better. I don't think she's going to fix my handwriting, but learning to make illustrations, because it's really helpful for social media content as well, to be able to illustrate your thoughts and your frameworks and your models and all that stuff. So that's something that I'm diving into. So what I would say for you is dream client, like actually think through, take a moment and allow yourself to forget who you already know, like the easy route, and just pick who would you most want to work with? Who does your heart desire for you to work with? It doesn't mean that you can't work with the other people, but like, let's focus where the real juice is for you. And let's honor that calling, that desire of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like I have that avatar nailed down, because I really don't care about the occupation, but I could still start with the community that I have. It's mostly on LinkedIn, and then from there, like I said, once I go into it, and did you say you were going to walk us through the offer doc at some point?
Yes.
Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Not today, but I for sure will. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find here. So what I say in the framework here, there we go. Share that thing. What I say about the framework here, like, pick your dream client, often will be you from the past. Define the criteria for doing business with you. It's a very helpful thing to assume that position of like, you have to satisfy certain criteria in order for me to do business with you. So you pick the type of client that you know that you can deliver results for 1,000%, right? Because they're already qualified. Because there's so many people in the world, you might as well pick the ones that you most want to work with. And then like this question, who would you want to work with if you could only get paid after they get the results you promise, right? What would have to be true about them in order for them for you to know that you can deliver results. And so you're fine with like, don't pay me anything, pay me when you get the results. And in order for me to make that deal with you, you have to do what I tell you to do, right? You can set your criteria. And it's a great offer. If you want to work that way, that works out. But you want people who are like, this is a good list here. People with a strong pain or desire, with money to pay, who's easy to target, who's aware, who can make a buying decision quickly, who can get results quickly, who you can get great results, who will be easy and frictionless and not a hassle to work with, and they're in a growing market. It's a pretty good list of criteria. All of this is in the client's OS doc in there. What would I have to believe in order to be a great client? Point is that you get to pick, yeah, and make sure it's someone that you actually want to work with, that you actually enjoy working with, right? That you appreciate. So that's number one. So get clear on that dream client. And then I would say number two is, if you're allowed to, start creating content for that person right now.
Okay. I can do that. I just can't collect a paycheck till after March 1st because of the terms of my leaving corporate.
Perfect.
So, but I can lead up, I can do free workshops. I can do anything I want to do up until that.
Because what that means is that you have the potential to build up desire where people are like, I want to work with you, Deborah. And you're like, sorry, you can't until March 1st. And so like sign up for a wait list here or whatever, right? So that you can build that pent up demand, because when people can't have what they want it more. So yeah, posting organic social and like really play with it. Really give yourself permission to play with it and find your format. Like put yourself and some personality into it. Like don't try to be all corporate. Like don't try to be all professional about it. Don't try, just be real, like you would teach it to your kids or to a good friend or something, but
you had mentioned sorry, I interrupted you. You had mentioned before to pick one form of social for 1 year. And so, because if I did a second, I'm over 2,500 contacts on LinkedIn, right? And they're all professionals. They really do fall in that bucket, right? It is a little bit more of a professional platform. I can create content for that, but is there something where perhaps I link some of this other content or create it also to start out Instagram also, just to get more followers without it, maybe necessarily concentrating on it, but just translating it? I know it's slightly a different follower on Instagram, but there's also more I get it. Like-minded people where, to your point, when you share on social, you're going to get more of those feeds. Yeah.
Yes. I totally get you. What I said was not pick one social for 1 year. What I said, if I'm thinking about what the same thing you're thinking about, is like one source, one traffic source, one source of leads.
Yeah. That's, you said like really hone in on one, which I took it to mean social for some reason. Like pick one social content, one, so that you're really,
LinkedIn's a great platform, really, for like, it's still, all of these platforms are supply and demand. Like how much content is there versus how many eyeballs are there? And LinkedIn is still, as far as I've been hearing from people, there's more demand, there's more eyeballs than there's content, which means that your content is more likely to get wider distribution. Whereas Instagram is the opposite. Instagram is like more content every day, but less people on the platform. So that's harder. So LinkedIn is actually a really good place. And they're, as far as I know, they're also innovating, and they're also doing the TikTokification where, it's the content, not the followers, that really matter for distribution.
And they also give you the graphics for all of the, how many views you got. So that's how I will know what resonated. I don't have to wait for the likes. I don't know. Maybe the other platforms have some of those diagnostics, but Yeah,
that's perfect. So I think you can absolutely get where you want to go with just LinkedIn. with
Okay.
your audience. And you can, so the thing about LinkedIn, like LinkedIn's giving me some of the same people who are like, people are on multiple platforms, right? So the same person can be on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, but they're usually in a different mindset when they're on LinkedIn versus when they're on TikTok or X or whatever,
Correct. Yeah, that's
which
why I was
is,
asking.
which works to your advantage because you kind of want people who are in the mindset of hiring someone like you. So it's not a bad thing. And you can still show a lot of personality, but now you can reference corporate if that's relevant for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or you can reference their experience based on your experience in that same world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can still be playful. You can still have personality. You can still be, if that's like, if playful is your vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, well, then there's a whole other behind the scenes thing about being seen. So, well, that's a whole other rabbit hole you and I can go down. So maybe that's part of the reason why I've been keeping a little more, because have started playing with content and I think I have good
Yeah.
subjects, but no, I'm not necessarily putting all of my own personality into it, to your point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeping a little more professional on the LinkedIn side. And yeah, maybe I need to put more of me into it, to your point,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you afraid
All right.
might happen if you did that?
I hope it's more about people just thinking I've lost my ever loving mind. Like, what did which actually now I'm getting kind of proud of the fact that I just said, fuck it to corporate and I was walking away. You know what I mean? And to me, I've had so many people say, oh my God, I wish I could do that, and I'm like, oh, there's my market. You know what I mean? Those are the people. And it's not to teach people to walk away. It's to teach people clarity on what they want or help them find the clarity of what they want. That's really what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. And so maybe it's more around telling some of my story on some of that. But then again, I don't want to be coaching people in a certain industry where it appears like I'm trying to get them to leave their industry, because then it'll just piss people off. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And so what if it does piss people off?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, because I really didn't have any intention of bringing on large corporate clients. I'd rather work with individuals. So I guess it doesn't really matter if I'm not marketing to the corporation, right? If I'm convincing all of their workers to leave or something, which is not my intention. It's whatever
Right.
they want, So yeah.
Well, and maybe just like maybe people getting more in touch with who they are and what they really want might in some cases end up benefiting the corporation, because like nobody benefits if you just burn out.
You're
If
right.
you just like a zombie, right? And some people want to be in that corporation, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that still love it, thrive with it. There's actually some really good corporations that have a lot of awareness and they're very, conscious about things. And then there's others that aren't, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And so,
and those that aren't might be waiting for someone to step in and be like, hey, what if
and
we
just tell my story authentically. Like, look what, yeah. And maybe that's, yeah. And for some reason, for some reason, I didn't look at LinkedIn as being the place for that. I looked at it more as like Instagram, but LinkedIn is where I'm going to find the people that I'm looking for is,
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. I have a little more clarity. So thank you. Because I'm really trying to hone in my business plan so that I have clear cut activities I'm doing every single week. And I'm having a lot of confusion, and you've just created some clarity for me there. So
That's awesome. I'm
yeah,
glad to hear
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, Cinda, you were about to say.
Oh gosh. I've been through a lot of transition, death in my family and all this odd transition. And so I'm really, really looking at a new year ahead. My market is still the same. My ideal client, if anything, is even clearer to me. And my modality, my outreach, I believe will be a lot of podcasting. I have a message I feel strongly about, and I want to get it out there. don't, in a way, I feel that everything has changed. In another way, as I speak right now, nothing I'm saying is new. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do have a kind of faith that the stream is flowing more readily now, and that there's a lot of space ahead. I know that this market is vast, and I don't need the whole market, but there will be. I know there'll be a niche for me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sound vague, but yeah,
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I like what you
yeah,
said. Like it feels like everything is new and yet it's it's
yeah,
it's also the same.
yeah. I'm not hunting blindly anymore.
Yeah.
I know who they are, and now I have a few clients, and they give me the issues, and I know how to address them now. Before
Mm.
I was sort of mea culpa, I'm not up to the task. And now, by
Mm.
God, it looks like I'm really up to the task, in part because answers come that were not there before. And now I kind of know. And so it's very interesting. I'm really fascinated by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
What do you know? Do you know what changed?
well, as I say, there's been a death in my family, and that has been transformational, as it is wont to be, isn't
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah.
just an up close and personal look at death. And
Hmm.
since my market is older women,
Mm.
that's the secret companion. And I'm, uh, I'm, I think I've got a lot of future with. That sounds odd. I've got a lot of future with death. I know
Yeah.
that that's mega issue, and I believe that I increasingly have something to offer. It's the second half of life. You see, so much of the marketplace and society is focused on the first half of life. There's the vitality and the extroversion natural to the younger people. But by gosh, there's a whole mob of the older people who have tremendous suffering, and they're flailing about trying to answer it with the answers from the first half of life. And of course, it's not turning out so well. And I believe I have something to offer here, and it won't be me. I feel it's coming through me, actually. That's in part why I want to do a lot of podcasting, Calvin,
Yeah.
because in podcasting, the interviewers ask me these questions and I blather on, but then later I think about how do I wish I'd replied to that question?
Mm.
And in that way, the insight is coming. It's
Mm.
uncomfortable because, of course, it's a series of mistakes. Well, not missteps, a series of missteps, but that's how the path is determined. It's by have to have the rigor to make the missteps.
Yeah.
Um,
I just want to say, I just want to mirror back to you, Lucinda, that
sure.
as you were talking about this and what changed and your clarity and all that, I got very emotionally and I got tears in my eyes. I don't know if any of you guys, Deborah, Stephanie, do you guys feel that too? The energy when Lucinda was talking. So, Lucinda, I just want you to know that I'm feeling that clarity from you, or it's the connection in it. It's like a part of, and I think we all have that where, right, we're given some calling, some
Yeah.
gift,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then we question it, then we doubt it. And then we're like, well, but who am I? And I'm not, I can, but look at
Yeah.
all the things that all the ways that I'm flawed, or all the things I
Yeah.
fucked up. And there's also like, there's 14 things that are still not working in my life. So who am I to
Yeah.
blah, 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 right? All of
Yeah.
that. What I'm feeling from you now is that, like, who gives a fuck about all that
Yeah,
shit?
there it is.
Something to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And it's an enormous question. And
Yeah.
I see the suffering. I see it, and I'm very, very interested to address it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Do you
of course,
have
yeah.
do you have a social platform that you enjoy? Do you like YouTube? Do you like Twitter? Do you like Instagram? Do you
Well,
like X?
I spend some time on YouTube. I'm interested in YouTube. I, uh,
Mhm.
I I find I find most social media kind of irritating,
Yeah.
but that can be a limitation of my own. But YouTube, podcasting with the links into YouTube. I am on LinkedIn and I recognize something there, but somehow I just never post.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
think
not
YouTube's
stuck in
awesome.
my ways. I'm not stuck in my ways. I'm going to be doing new things.
Well, YouTube, I love YouTube. I get so much value from YouTube. I love
Yeah.
finding, like longer videos,
Yes.
talks from
Yeah.
conferences, like the Electric Universe stuff. There, I
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
some talks from their conference from 10 years ago and 8 years ago and whatnot, or like watching these longer things while I have a speaker in my shower so I can listen to
Yeah.
YouTube while I'm in the shower or getting ready or working out or whatever. So if you like
The
YouTube,
Feast
I
of
think
Intelligence. That's what I like. The Feast of
what's that?
Intelligence. The Feast of Intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just, it's streaming through them, these intelligent insights, and go, wow. And I kind of want to belly up to the table with it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what I would recommend, like, I think YouTube is one of the most incredible like platforms for learning, for knowledge, for going deep on stuff. So here's what I would suggest is start recording videos of yourself talking about the things that you care about, that you see, your mission, why this matters to you. Tell stories of people that you know or have worked with. You don't need to name them, but just in broad strokes. When you go on a podcast and you're like, oh shit, this is what I wish I'd have answered. Make that video, right?
Yeah.
Where you share that and just get in the habit, like, of recording videos and putting them out on YouTube. And just do that. Doesn't matter if nobody watches. If just one person watches, that's freaking awesome. Doing it consistently over time, and then, like, in the beginning, it's just record and post it. It's just getting that discipline, that building that muscle. Then you start to get a little bit interested in the technicalities of it, like thumbnails and captions and that kind of stuff. That'll come later. In the beginning, it's just like pouring stuff out, putting it out, because it's not about the content, is not about who watches it or what it does for your business. Is about who you become in the process of building
that makes sense to me. Yeah that makes lots of sense to me. It's kind of what's happening now. To this point, I've been dithering about how to please the market or entice them in, or get clients, by gosh. And now I kind of I'm interested in what is the message, what is the need, what is, and it's a different, again, these life changes going on, I see.
If you just, like, set a standard for yourself that feels like something that you can do. Like, for me, it's post 3 long form videos a week on YouTube. Maybe it's 1 for you, or 3 or 5, whatever. And like, by long form, I say, for me, like, it's easy to go like 30-40 minutes. There's actually more of a challenge to go shorter, but let's say, like, post at least a 10-minute long video 3 times a week could be a standard. Whatever feels right for you. You can always change it, but make a commitment to something and then keep that up. And then as you do it, focus on a person that that has this problem that you help them with, like one older woman who has trouble sleeping, and you know why. And just talk to her.
Yes.
What would you want to say to her? Because there's millions of other women just like her out there.
Yeah. It's very exciting. I can be given the energy, and indeed I probably have the energy. It's very exciting. Because these times are such, one can be quite demoralized to see what's going on. It's such a deterioration, and so much of the beauty of a society, and you see it kind of rocking and deteriorating, but then there's really all the potential too.
So many beautiful things as well, right?
Yeah, well, like what you're saying about the electric universe, really, we're starting to recognize that the psyche is creating the universe for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that all this that we observe is coming from within, to the extent that our unconscious is within. It's all we are part of the universe. It's astonishing. Yeah, it's so good to hear you say it. I don't talk like this too much because people think I've gone off my nut or something, but I agree. I agree. The universe is a product of our psyche. How else can we experience it except through our psyche? And our psyche is in the universe. It, at the deepest level, it is an expression of the universe. I agree with you, Kelvin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a phrase, there was a sentence in the one of the Abraham Hicks books that I was listening, which was like, early on, Jerry was having issues with the government and how they spent his tax dollars and like all the bad stuff that the government was doing. And so Abraham was asking him, well, is there anything that the government does that you agree with, that you approve of, that you like? It's like, yeah, like they built some roads and they put some parks together and whatnot. Okay, so just in your mind, earmark that all the dollars that you pay in taxes go to those things that you like, and just picture it that way.
Yes.
Like, oh, you know what? I like that. You know?
Yes.
Again, it's just keep focusing on what's right.
Yeah.
You know, Tony Robbins says, what's wrong is always available. So is what's right. Keep focusing on what's right in the world, with you, with your business, with everything that you're doing. Keep focusing on what's right.
Yeah. 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 Joyful after 50. That's
yes.
Well, that's my moniker. You see, that's really, I agree. It's the only sensible approach, really.
Yeah. Joyful and restful. Yeah. I love it. I love the work that you're doing, Lucinda.
Thank you. I will persevere, just one little step at a time. And as there's this transition, I have to do all this legal stuff and financial stuff and so on as a consequence.
Which I know you love.
My family. I'm sorry?
Which I know you love so much.
My God. It's the opposite. I mean, short of working in a salt mine, I think this is just almost as bad as having to hack at the salt mine every day. Oh God. But yes, my inner.
And what is it about it though that the universe keeps giving you those tasks to do?
Yes.
Maybe there's something for you there.
Oh yes, I accept the task, and it will take 10 times longer than I think it should. And so I have to accept that because it's not my strength. So it really takes a lot of time and effort. Yeah.
And maybe let go of the whole idea of how long it should take. Like there is no should. It just takes whatever it takes. So let me tell you a little personal story here. My wife got for her Christmas present from her mom a puzzle of some like Denmark scenery with 1,000 pieces. And she was like, I'm going to return it. I wish I had like opened it while we were still in Denmark so I can go back to that store and return it. Or not. I'm like, maybe we just make it. Like, what the fuck? We never make puzzles. And then so we decided to do that. And we finished it 2 days ago on January 1st. Spent 6 hours that day putting together that puzzle. And but we already started before. So we probably spent a total of, I don't know, like 12, 15 hours making that puzzle.
Yeah.
And for me, I enjoy it. Like I'm a programmer. I'm used to like things you sit on your fucking ass and then you do it. And there's all these micro victories along the way. Oh, this break, fits here. This puzzle piece fits over there. Like same with programming. But for my wife, who's a dancer, she's like, gotta get up and move, and I can't. And so she started doing all this drama, like, oh, stupid shit. It was like, oh, where's the guy? I hate that, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, found this, I'm so happy. It was like this whole roller coaster up and down. I'm just like, oh, yes, oh, cool. Like, but so it's a fun contrast to watch. It was just, all the drama didn't, and we could laugh about it, right? But all the drama
Yes.
doesn't make it any easier.
Yes. Yes, I
Uh,
get such a chance to watch my psyche do its tricks. I just get to
yeah,
watch
right.
it. The mind comes up with all this. Yeah. How else could I see it so clearly unless I had to endure this?
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks, Calvin. Yeah, the puzzle.
Exactly. Yeah. And then she got so hooked on it, and she was like, maybe we should buy another puzzle. But then she started having nightmares, dreams about it. And she's like, in her head, like puzzles.
That's real transformation, boy.
Right. It's crazy. Oh, all right. Thank you, Lucinda.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steffi. What's going on with you? What's going on with you?
I love Lucinda's work and your conversation. Puzzle of life. Let's do this. It's just to enjoy it. It's such a great thing to be with together about. So it's great to be together on this journey. So so as I wrote in the comments, I'm not so much business, coaching business, but I guess there was when you showed the dream client, I want to target someone who has the money to and feels a little bit empty to connect to something inside or outside himself. So that's why I want to connect these people with the people who has to offer all the activities in nature, which I think has a lot of value to these people. And when I read your who dream client, often your dream client will be you from the past. I got such a big smile because I was at this point, I don't know what time, but a long time ago when I felt like I have everything, but it doesn't make sense. So then we just moved out on the country and then got so much peace and joy. So that was kind of okay. That's why I'm doing it, and now I can picture it more clearly. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So there will be a lot of things I'm going to use as well. Besides, I'm not a coaching business. In a way, I try to reach out to people who need something. So I kind of think it's the same process as for coaching. So that's fine. I'm fine with me. So attract, enroll, and transform. I guess it's the same process. And I feel like I'm getting where I have an idea about the tech stuff. I feel like I'm getting there. We finished the payment processors between Christmas and New Year. I didn't really thought it would be possible, but but it was. So we are nearly finished. And I have offered someone who I'm working together with that when we finish her book, then we can sell it on my platform. So this will be the first thing we're going to sell, and I'm happy about it. It's great. All the effort, and I said to her, it's nice that we're working together because then I have an excuse to pushing it forward because I have an excuse to do it for someone else, not just for me. And that's nice. It helps a lot. I don't think I would have gotten so far in such a short period of time because, oh no, all the stuff, Lucinda, I'm with you on this, have to fill out all the forms and what do I know? Nothing about it. So it was, it helped really a lot to think about I'm doing it for someone else, but I said it to her and I said to her it helps me really a lot. So this was great. It was great between Christmas and New Year. So I had a party with that.
So what are you thinking about for social media?
Yeah. I started an Instagram account last year, and I guess now I'm just I just have to be better to post. The funny thing is there as well. I have been working with Facebook and Instagram for the company I have been employed with. I think nearly 10 years, and it wasn't such a big problem. But when I have it now for my own, it's like I have to do something else, and what can I write about? And that's not true. I know it because I have interviewed one of my members just before Christmas, and it's like short videos about why she's doing it. And I have been pushing it forward to put it on because and I can't figure out why. So it's I just need to put it in the schedule, and then I'm just doing it. So yeah, organic social, but it's as well. I write just when you talked about it, I wrote as well organic presence because I'm in an area where there are not many people, and I experience when I talk to people since they have heard about me. And the last, I don't know when it was, I have some people on my list who I want to contact, and I experience that they connect with me on Instagram and they're following me. And it's like, okay, why don't you just contact these people? So it's quite funny. They usually contact me before I get going. So yeah. And it's like something about that I'm pushing the things that are important to me and pushing them a little bit forward. But I'm getting them getting done, so it's not that I'm never doing it, but it's like, what could I do? What could I do now that's more important? But there's nothing more important than develop this community, or what we want to call it.
Yeah. So how is that pattern of pushing important things out? How is that serving you?
Sometimes it feels easier to do it when I'm wholeheartedly, as when I'm not having other things on my mind. So sometimes it feels easier when I do it on another time. But sometimes it feels like I could do it easily tomorrow morning, and then I'm just finding excuses. It's not so often, but it is sometimes. So it's not really helping me, I guess.
Yeah. How else is that pattern showing up in your life?
How what?
How else is that pattern showing up in your life?
I don't think I have experienced it so much in my life before. So, because I usually just do the things I enjoy. This is the most important thing in my life. I want to be happy and joyful, as Lucinda said, joyful after 50 may apply as well for before 50. And I feel like it has been working out quite fine. But it's the first time I'm doing such a big project on my own. And maybe I just should find me someone who I can do this with. And when I'm saying it, I have written in a text to another person I've been working with together, and there was something that fell that came clear to me this morning, and maybe I already found someone who I want to work together with. So it's like the universe is connected, as you were talking about it, and every time we get clear and conscious about something, then there is a missing link right beside you. So it helps to just talk about it already. So I guess I'm just needing someone who can push me forward, like the person who's selling her book, and just push me forward with the technical things. I just need someone who I can work together with, who's not pushing me but motivating me to just get in.
Yeah. I mean, it's very common that we'll do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. And so, yeah, we can use that to our advantage. Hang on, they're tearing out. I opened the window to get a little bit of air in here, but they're tearing down a building, so it's a little bit much. So, yeah. There's also a pattern that I ran into with myself a while back was I noticed that the things that I made myself do, whether it was working out or work stuff or whatever, I would resist that. It was like when I was a kid and my dad would tell me what to do, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, dad! I don't want to do that." And I'd play that out with myself. So when I wanted me to do something, I'd be like, "Fuck you! I'm not gonna do that," and I'd have this like internal fight. I don't know if that's the case for you, but they're like, I don't know, the hippie in you might be a little bit like, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And it's
I've
really
heard
just
your
doing
New
it.
Year's. I've heard your New Year's speech. Yeah. I don't feel like it's an authority thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because no one pushes me to do it. Everyone, it's more like Deborah. Everyone is like, "What are you doing? Why did you quit something that was so safe?" And that's
Yeah.
not true. I know because there are really, really a lot of people who are supporting me, and who
Mm-hmm.
thinks that this is a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the authority thing because no one is pushing me, no one is blaming me, no one is doing anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I
No, but the point
just
is when we are doing it to ourselves,
oh yeah
right? Yeah. Then we resent that as well.
yeah okay yeah I want to watch it. I'm going to watch
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Just yeah, see if that resonates. If not, I mean, if you have a way around it, that works too, right? Like get like this is very common. What is it? My buddy Taylor did this thing called Focus Mate, which is just like you get on a Zoom call with another person and then you work on your own stuff with another person there, just because like got to do the thing now because there's someone watching. So
Yeah,
it's
and
very
it
common.
helps a lot. And as Lucinda said, she's not talking about this kind of stuff with the Electric Universe. And here in
Mm-hmm.
Denmark, we have a community. It's called Universal Futurists. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
have heard about them. They are
Mm-hmm.
really people who want to look at the bright side of life. So they want to
Mm-hmm.
focus on things that makes them happy and wants to support each other. And there we really can develop a kind of language. How can we support each other? How can we do things better for ourselves, but as well for others? So it's really helping with someone you can talk about it and kind of feel of supported.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in that way, it's really easy to always find the missing piece when you just get aware of it, because there
Mm-hmm.
is always someone. You just have to reach out, and then it is there. It's quite impressive. It's really magical. Sometimes you get scared
Yeah.
sometimes because it's really, really, really it's I can't find the right English word, so I'm missing out on words. But it impresses me a lot of times. So I'm not worried that I figure out this organic social thing. I'm going to do this my one thing the next 6 weeks.
All right. So because that was my next topic. So the one thing is what?
That I get on track with the organic social thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that I
On Instagram
post something on
specifically?
Instagram. Yeah, I guess I'm
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn as well, private. But I guess I want to have both my email list activated. I started last year and I haven't done anything to
Mm-hmm.
it. So just want to practice a little bit on my social Instagram uh, channel. So
All
just
right.
a little bit.
Cool. All right.
Thank
You
you.
got it. And I think for you, like what you were saying about like the often your dream client will be you from the past, like, talk about that journey in your content, right? Talk about what that's given you, what life was like then, what you discover, what changed, how did you discover it, like how do you feel now, you know? Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Lucinda and Deborah, I want to hear from you guys. What do you want your first 6 weeks of the year to be about? Is there a goal? Is there a specific outcome? Do you want to give it a theme that you're like, this is going to be my focus, if you know?
Yeah, I've got to upgrade my automation that I send out to people who sign up for my list. And I was working on it these recent weeks. And I have to get this done because right now I sort of squirm when I realize people have signed up to my list and I think, oh my God, they're looking at that dated video and it bothers me. And by the way, Steffi, I loved your origin story. I would encourage you to just go with that 100%. There's so many people hungry for the natural world. But anyway, back to your question. I've got to get my emails upgraded, and I would sure love to substitute more recent videos, but I don't know that I'm up to that task as yet.
Yeah, well, if you do what we talked about with the organic, right? So then now you start recording something for YouTube at least every week. And you also do the podcasts. And so now what you can do in those emails is you can send people to the podcasts and to your YouTube content. Right. So now it's like you write a short email that's like, I don't know, one of the problems I often see people having is blah, blah. And like, here's a video where I go deeper on that. And then people click over and then they watch it. And then by watching it, like, not everybody's going to watch it, but the people who are most interested, who are most likely to become clients, are going to watch it. And so now they click over, they watch it, and they spent 15, 20 minutes with you, right? So again, the Brandwidth idea, like that's 15, 20 minutes out of 47. They're that much closer. And then it can also be, I did a podcast interview the other day where we dove really deep on blah, blah, like go watch it here. And now it's you on a podcast, which automatically elevates your authority a little bit versus like you just sharing on YouTube. So that's great content to send people to. I think if you think through what are the key points that you want to hit on in your automation, what podcast interviews have you already done that might hit on some of those? And what videos do you need to record for YouTube that would touch on the others, and then build it up around that? I think that could work super well.
Thank you for that. I've been neglecting that entirely. The podcasts I've done, some of them have been, pretty good, and I have not marketed them even to my own list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do that. And when it comes to podcasts as well, like I always ask for the raw footage of the podcast. Usually it's video. It's always video. I think it's very rare that I do one that's not, but I'll ask for the raw footage, and then I'll have Caden on my team. Hey, Caden, edit that and pull out clips from the podcast that we'll then post on my social media. We won't post the whole podcast because that's theirs, obviously, but we can use all the clips that we want. And that does two things. It's content for me, but it also promotes their podcast, which makes them happy. And it also, a third thing, it shows other potential podcast hosts that I am posting their content to my followers, which is like, oh, great. Because they want distribution as well, right? So that's a really good habit to get into as well.
And that's pretty much the custom, is it, Calvin? I'm not asking too much when I request the raw footage of the interview.
It's very rare. Some people won't do it, but they'll be sending you clips or whatever. That's fine. Like if they make a fuss about it, they make a fuss, but you can totally ask for it and just say, hey, I'm not going to post the whole thing. I just want to be able to pull clips from it,
Yeah.
And that's usually what they're worried about. They totally want you to post clips, but they're worried about you posting the whole thing on your platform.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Work ahead, the salt mines and all.
And then you need a Caden, Lucinda, to pull out the stuff, so you don't do it on your own.
Oh, by God, that would be nice. Sam didn't deliver that this year, but maybe. Yeah.
I mean, there are people who there are agencies who do that. I had a guy I worked with before Caden, whose name is Alex. He's somewhere in former Soviet Union, and he was pretty cheap and effective at doing it. But like there are definitely people who do this sort of thing. And I also don't want you to spend a whole lot of like more money right now. I'd rather just make it simple and easy for yourself to post something, and like, let's get some momentum going, and then we can make it better and delegate later.
Yeah, that's my intuition. Get some momentum going for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Deborah? What's your 6-week plan?
Yeah, for me, it's all things infrastructure. So it sounds like a lot more than it is, in the sense that I already have a lot of groundwork done. So finalizing all of the different options on my website, my actual landing page is just about complete. I have a couple of things I want to change, and then I can evolve that over time, make sure I have all my automation set up. And I'd like to, and I'm just building. So I want to do the social media content weekly, at least weekly, maybe even twice a week. Like we talked about a little while ago. And then I as well was going to look around for some different things with podcasts. And so all I have to do, actually, I've done a lot of infrastructure. I just have to finish my media page. And, you know how they have all of those different websites that'll match you up with podcasts that are out there, that sort of thing, and just pick some and put myself out there, see, what's needed there. So it's all things infrastructure there. And then I would like to do at least one free workshop like mid-February, so that March 1st, when I'm done with corporate, I can go ahead and launch March 2nd, with my business and get that rolling, So
yeah,
it sounds like a lot more than it is, believe it or not. Just because I have a lot of this infrastructure built up,
That's awesome. Cool. Great. Yeah. The one thing I want to say on podcast, my experience has been that a lot of those, like we did Pot Match and we've done some others. A lot of the inbound requests that you're going to find there are people with very little audience, no audience. Like I've done a ton of podcasts that did nothing,
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
When I measure by like, go follow me, like on Instagram and DM me was usually my call to action on the podcast, like nothing. And so depending on what you're looking for, that might be fine, right? Because if you're looking for, I create good content when I am being interviewed by someone. Like for me, like being interviewed by someone who actually gives a fuck is a great way for me to get to create content. And so I don't care that it doesn't get distribution, because I like the content. I want to get the content so Caden has something to work with. Or you just want to get the reps in and get some practice with some podcasts, when like you're not going to start on Joe Rogan, right? Like it's always you kind of start smaller. And so if that's your goal, it's totally cool. At some point you want to be like more discerning in terms of who you spend your time with. But in the beginning, it's totally fine to just be like, I'll just do fucking anything in order to.
That's kind of what I thought I would do, is I was just going to pick a couple of topics and get my feet wet. I would like to tap into other people's communities, you know what I mean? But to your point, it would create content for me. And so that's exactly where I was going with it. And then I figured I could work my way up once I refined my story. And especially, I have a feeling this year is going to be so much transition as I really settle into, what my audience, I don't feel like where I'm going right now is where I'm going to end up at the end of the year. Does that make sense to you? Not in a bad way, in a very good way. Like this is going to evolve on its own, and I'm just going to allow it to unfold for me, so.
Yeah. I mean, you're like the butterfly coming out of the caterpillar.
Exactly. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I do have a refined vision. I don't want to sound like I'm shooting in the dark, but,
I just want
to allow the evolution.
When this replay comes up in an hour or two, go back and rewatch yourself right there.
Okay. All right.
That was like, it was corporate Deborah. And then it became like a live Deborah, and that just like one move right there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I'll go back and watch it when it comes up, because I'm interested to see what that looks like. Because the non-corporate Deborah, the authentic one, is who I want to put out there. I have a feeling that attracts more than when I try to get all corporate. And
Yeah. Steffi, Lucinda, did you guys see that? Did you see it happen? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you for that. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny how these like these shifts that happen with us, and like we're not really aware, but like it's there, and it's like, okay, now we can hold on to that. Like we have something to shoot for, to aim for, to focus on. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. My pleasure. All right, you guys, this is very exciting. It's a brand new year. We've got an incredible journey ahead of us, and you all know what you're doing over the next 6 weeks. And then we're going to talk offer doc. I'll make sure that we talk about that. Could be next week, could be shortly after. But yeah, let's talk offer doc real soon. And anything else that you guys want me to cover, or anything that you want to hear about, like, just let me know. Like, I'm here to bring what you need. So, and it can be tactical, it can be strategic, it can be mindset, whatever. I'm here for all of it, because we need all of it. So just keep thinking about, like, hey, what's something that you're missing? What's something you'd like me to go deeper on? And then I can, if I know the answer, I'll just teach it. If I don't know the answer, I'll go do the research and then I'll bring it to you. Yeah. So use me in that way. I'm here to serve you guys to the best of my ability. And I love doing that. I also love getting the opportunity to actually deep double click on something that I'm like, actually, that's a good question. What would be the best? Because I got started thinking now with Lucinda about that nurture sequence. Like, what is that? Like, is there like an ideal flow for that, new subscriber nurture welcome sequence? Like, what do we want to hit on? How does that connect with Taki's idea about Brandwidth? And like, so I'm like, maybe that's something that I need to double click on a little bit. So I might do that. Yeah, but let me know what you guys need and I'll figure it out. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see
you
next week.
Thank you too.
Thanks,
Bye.
Al.
Next week.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.